Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. Podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at DocSimmons17. Tonight we've got the return of the gaggle of good-looking men. I'll give a hot tag to my partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And of course, look up your mama's favorite Country Air at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, or Country Air Brand on Twitter. And I'll pass it off to the world traveling senior official.
What's up, guys? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles. So, Perch, tell us about the food across the pond.
Oh man, some of the best food in the world. Plenty of steak and rice, and some noodles and beef and more rice. As good as it gets. Mr. Danger Steakhouse, Billy the Kid Steakhouse, Ribera Steakhouse. So good. Pepper Lunch is another joint out there where they you order your food and it comes to you in a skillet, still cooking, but they give it to you so quick, and it's like the best steak in the world. Yeah, super good. Amazing food all around. Some good breakfast in there too. Over the past couple of weeks, had some good waffles with fruit on it. My new favorite, and lots of good food. But yeah, nothing hits quite like that steak over in Japan. The tastes, the tenderness, the flavors, a little bit of garlic on there, garlic and butter. My God, it's as good as food gets. Ooh, and Mr. Donut too is my favorite. Good donuts. Took down like 3 or 4 donuts one day. Yeah, so good, and you don't feel too heavy or bloated afterwards. There's some magic to it over there.
Nice. Well, glad you got to enjoy yourself. That's what I say the best part about traveling in the wrestling business is getting to eat. Zach, any food you want to put over?
Nope. I had nothing really exciting that I can. Oh, nope, nothing really exciting that I can think of.
Thanks for the tease. K Dot made French toast with some challah bread that she got. That was very good. So we had that all weekend. I was very satisfied. Not exactly on the diet, but whatever. It was good. And you know what? You are finally back, Perch. This is your time. I'm sure you've been surfing the airwaves. That's the term. What is your return banger of the week?
Oh, return banger of the week. Had to go back to a heartfelt one. When in doubt, trust your gut and rely on your passion. This is one of those songs that was an early banger of me remembering music. So bangers survive, and this song certainly survives. Summer is come and gone, and we got fall time now. But this was a summer jam from, say maybe 97, 98, maybe 99. The Way by Fastball.
Oh, okay.
What a tune. That one always hit back in the day. I heard it just the other day, and it just brought back some good memories and good times. I had to put it on one of a post that I made, just because it linked well with what I was feeling at the time, and especially coming home, you like to hear those home songs, and yeah, The Way is one that has always been a banger since day one.
Looks like 98. Good year.
Yeah, 98, right on. Good summertime. I think we just moved to our house, and yeah, enjoying summer with a pool for the first time in life. So, yeah, that was good times.
That was prime dancing time for sure. Yeah, no, good pick. Glad to have you back. So why don't we get into what we have been watching? Zach, let's start with you. What you been watching, brother?
I am kind of lame. I haven't been watching a lot. Really, I watched a few of our old matches, like some of our DPW and Rugged Pro matches, but nothing really.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong. Go back, tape study. Obviously, I mean, I texted you and I thought of so many ways with it. Since my injury, I have rewatched just the past couple matches that I've had that move we've been doing lately. So I've just been studying that, thinking about that, ways out of it, ways to get back to it. I also watched Dynamite last week. Very good. Fletcher and Danielson. If this is Danielson's retirement tour, I'm okay with that because he's freaking killing it. I've always been a fan of Aussie Open, so to see that they're still pushing Fletcher with Mark Davis hurt, it sucks that like one of them is always hurt. It's the same way with Darius and Dante. It sucks that one of them is always hurt, but it's good to know that they aren't forgotten about when one of them is hurt. So match was super dope. Jay White and Penta. Penta is such an underrated worker. Like great showing for Jay White. It is interesting to see him, I guess, adjust to working in America compared to working in Japan all those years because the crowd is different. So it's just a different feel when he's doing his promos and such. So, but no, loving the feud between him and MJF. Love the MJF babyface run. I hope this goes on forever. The Roddy and Adam Cole segment was great as usual. Hikaru Shida and Sakura, they've wrestled billions of times. It's been great every time. It continues to be great. I love seeing Emi Sakura back. She was very much missed. But more importantly, what I watched was a gem of a match. I think it came up on Vintage Furosu, that Twitter handle. Love those guys. Love to just see a random clip of something that I didn't know existed and then going out to find it. I watched from Wrestle Kingdom 7, or it was 2013, whichever Wrestle Kingdom that was, for the IWGP Light Heavyweight Championship. Kota Ibushi versus Low Key versus, oh god, I forgot the last person. Prince Devitt. That's why. AKA Finn Balor. Holy shit, what a banger. Non-stop. Everybody got their shit in. Counters, like they knew each other well. Ring positioning was beautiful. Like God, like I'm definitely stealing some of this for a triple threat tag when I get back. But just real gem of a match. You can find it on New Japan World. I know they also shared a match today that I wanted to watch, but always, shout out to Vintage Furosu on Twitter. Always sharing some gems that that are good to find. I also watched some of the worst wrestling I have ever seen. If you want to go to the Wild Wed Podcast Twitter page, they posted a show that was certainly a learning experience, and gives appreciation to being taught well and working at very well run shows. So check those two out. Perch, did you get a chance to watch anything?
Caught the clips you were talking about as well. Man, what some good match. That Low Key and was that triple threat match?
Yeah.
Those guys going at it. Holy smokes. One thing after another, and just giving reason to breaking up pins and transition into what's happening next. And yeah, that was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Watched a DDT show the other night. It was on late night. I think it was Sunday night, and really fun. The Iron Man Heavy Metal Championship was on the line. Masada against Harada, and definitely with the language barrier in there, taking it all in visually while still listening, just incredible what all goes on in the stories that they tell. That match alone was worth watching the whole pay-per-view for. Shenanigans ensue. They bring in a few other guys who bring in a couple of props, and they start working with the props. just to bring in a beer. Then they drink a beer and become pals, and they all turn on on Masada at the end, run around the entire arena. Um, it was at Corrigan Hall, so cool to see that arena being used for a DDT show. Just a couple weeks after we had done a wild show there, and yeah, just fun wrestling, enjoyable all the way around. New champion, followed by um, Takahashi coming out and becoming a new champion by the end of it.
I saw pictures of something. Yeah.
Worth checking out that match, Doc. I think that it was on the Wrestle Universe. The show was free when it was out, so I wonder if it still is.
I've got
worth,
the subscription.
worth checking out. Yeah,
yeah.
Got to check that match out from just the other day. It was just as entertaining as pro wrestling can be. And by the end of it, Masada getting taken out, he's just, screaming, no! Like, it was taken away from him by the end of it. Yeah, incredible. The pictures that have come out, everything. Great story being told. The main event that night was Chris Brooks and Hiroshima against Mao and Yuki Ueno, and just a solid main event. Those four are really good at what they do. Great storytelling. Sonic Amina comes up a little bit short in this one, but a great match and an awesome main event. Really enjoyed. DDT is so good and so much fun. Caught some of AEW the other day. Andrade against Danielson.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I watched more wrestling. I just couldn't remember it. Yes, I did watch Collision as well. Yes.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
So good. That match was great. And after it all ended, it was, long match. And then it ends and the guys, get up and the lights go out, lights come on. Danielson gets his head taken off.
Yeah. Like, hell yeah, I want this match.
That was great. That's a good way to end it. I thoroughly enjoyed. And since it is Halloween time, I've been ripping through some horror movies lately. One that I watched recently, Talk to Me. Holy smokes, that movie brings it. A new one made by a couple of Australian filmmakers, and they're doing big things right now.
The phone call, the like cell, like
no, they get a ceramic hand.
Yes.
Almost like a Ouija board kind of style.
Yeah.
And, I almost feel scared just bringing it up right here.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking out. That movie is so good. Modern horror movie and a great story and definitely spooky.
It was weirding me out because yes, it felt a little too modern. Like
yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And then the other one I had just watched was The Omen, with Damien from
the original.
1976.
Okay.
Man, such a scary movie.
Yeah.
I had definitely seen bits and pieces growing up, but it's too slow of a movie for me to have ever paid attention to it.
Yeah.
Until now, wow, that movie is so legitimately scary. And great, actual horror scenes, especially towards the end. It delivers. It definitely delivers. Yeah, frightening, scary. Couple of really good horror movies for this year.
Hell yeah. Nice. Awesome. Yep. We're supposed to do a Scream marathon. We'll see if that happens. Maybe we can try that on Saturday instead of going to the haunted house because I can't walk. All right. Enough talk about what we watched. Let's talk about what y'all did. Because my weekend, I went and watched my neighbor have a boxing match and he won, so that was good. That was all I did this past weekend. Besides that, I just laid up, kept the leg elevated, iced up, compressed, braced up, just trying to get back as fast as I can. But let's start with you, Zach. Yeah.
Yes, sir. My weekend was pretty crazy. First and foremost, thank you for everyone who sent me all the condolences and wishes. Thursday, I did have to drive down to Greenville to Kentucky My grandfather passed away on Friday the 13th, and his funeral was last Thursday. One thing I wanted to bring up, just because I thought was kind of cool, is like you don't see it a lot, but in Greenfield, when there's like a funeral driving by, like everyone pulls over their car and steps down, takes like out like a sign of respect. It was kind of cool to see. But but then made the long drive from Kentucky back to ICW, and boy, I'm so used to being a wrestler and traveling with with wrestlers where you have a 6 hour car ride where you're like, all right, we'll try to do the bathroom break within 3 or 4 hours into this drive. We'll try to knock it out as much as possible. And like, no, my parents, we stopped every hour, maybe half hour, had to get fudge, had to see the Harley shop, had to see everything, which made me almost late to ICW. I showed up 10 minutes before the show even started, and I found myself in a fatal 5-way elimination match. And I didn't know it was a number one contendership match until after I won. So, yeah,
Hey,
I came out. Tyler Baggins, Cute Craig. If Cute Craig didn't win, he was fired. So needless to say, Cute Craig is fired. Tyler Baggins, Blazing Ben, and Mad Hatter of the Void, which he got down to me and Mad Hatter, but a brain buster and a little bit of scratchy, no itchy off the top rope does the deal. 1, 2, 3. Your boy won number one contendership.
hell yeah.
And then I don't know if anyone remembers our promo. Doc and I, at ICW at least, have held down the tag division for far too long. And you get all these guys who think just because we wrestle as tag, we can't do it singly. So I don't think Doc minds, but we've seen all these factions come and go. We've beat the shit out of all of them. So we're just gonna end it before it starts. I'm taking on Jaden Mercer next month for the world title.
Hell yeah, brother. Like maybe I'll knee or wrestling or no wrestling, I'll be in your corner for that one.
Hell yeah. But yeah, we haven't put a country air man in the world title scene in a while. So it's time to put country air in the world title scene. And Doc and I, like we said, we can go after any belt. We're a threat. So Mercer's thought he was just going to overlook us. No, came in. Also, shout out to ICW fans for not making me look stupid when I said, this is ICW, take. Oh, and I put the mic down. They all yelled whiff. I appreciate everyone saying that because I would look really dumb. So appreciate y'all.
Yep, good to know that we got it over.
Yeah. But then Saturday, made the drive down to Mattoon, Illinois. Triple threat tag team title match. I was asked if I would want to still compete for the belts, and I said if there's gold to be won, Doc and I can do it with each other or without each other. We're threats. So we took on what was so I don't know what Jordan and CMC's tag name's called.
I don't think they have one yet.
Oh, they have something.
They do.
Are you sure? I believe they have a tag name.
Let's see.
But we'll Doc's
No,
looking for
it's just
them.
Jordan Berry and CMC. Unless they
Jordan
announced it at
Berry.
the show, at least on the match card.
They had shirts that matched, and like I said, something. It just all I know is I was tearing off everyone's head, taking on Jordan Perry, CMC, constant headache. Me and I brought Doc Simmons in water bottle form. I thought about using the water bottle, do a drop down, throw the water bottle for the drop kick. I thought it'd be very hard to hit air buddies, but it was possible. But I was rocking and rolling until Jordan wanted to go and give me a low blow. And that's all she wrote. Constant headache. Unfortunately, the constant headache did avenge that, and they got the win. So there's still a tag chance. We almost won it, but other than that, that's about it for the weekend.
Nice. Yeah. Saw the pictures from Sarah. You look super cool. Um, good shit. Saw the pics from across the ring, homie, where you also look super cool. So good shit, brother.
I just try to look super cool. I'm not a good wrestler.
Very photogenic.
Yeah.
Perch, regale us with tales of a land far, far away.
Yeah, we've had a heck of a journey over the past couple of weeks, and it's been so much fun. I think at one stretch we had about 7 shows in 8 days, and on the one day off, ended up making it to another show just to watch and take it all in, study and take notes. Yeah, super fun. Game Changer Wrestling had a big tour, and we started out in Atlantic City. We had 3 shows in 2 days. It was GCW Fight Night. Night one was highlighted by the War Games match, Team GCW versus Team Freedoms. Uh, could be one of the wildest matches I've ever been a part of. Had done one more games last year in Chicago, so this year in Atlantic City, it was incredible. This time it was 2 teams of 5, and that was my first match of the week to start off the wild weekend. So it started off in the cage for Team GCW was John Wayne Murdoch, Nick Gage, Rina Yamashita, Miedo, and Ciclope, Los Macizos. So a little bit of Mexico represented, some US represented, and Japan represented. And Team Freedoms was all from Japan, with Sasaki, Segura, Jun Kasai, Takeda, and Violento Jack. Hell of a match. Incredible. Ciclope and Violento Jack took a big bump from the scaffolding to outside the ring. Yeah, enough to break it back. It was wild. Seeing the blood stain the next day on the concrete was humbling. It was wild. The end of the match came down to Nick Gage and Jun Kasai inside 2 rings, 1 giant cage. And it was crazy. As far as, yes, deathmatch wrestling goes in the world, these are 2 of the absolute greatest, if not 10 of the greatest going today. Yeah, crazy match. Ref Adam and myself were inside the cage. Ref Scarlett was on the outside, and we held down the fort, kept everybody safe. Billy, cameraman, was on the inside too. We all kept each other safe. And he was able to snag some of the greatest footage ever taken inside one of those matches by braving the storm and staying in there. Yeah, some moments in the match was incredible. I've been learning a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Japanese, and breaking up my English by learning those other languages. So speaking broken 3 languages. It was cool. Got to test myself and really put it to the test. Because as a ref, communication is so big in helping preserve the safety and security of the wrestlers. So they're able to give the best performance they can to the fans. So to be able to speak a little Japanese inside and Spanish and English all sometimes within 10 seconds of one another, it had the mind going as well as the body going, as well as the heightened sense of danger.
Oh boy,
Just
brother.
yeah. What an environment. Sweat through all my clothes.
Never
Yeah,
packed
it was.
hero shirts.
Yeah, yep. It was incredible. Those are the reasons why we do what we do, to push ourselves and to gain experience. And that War Games match was just that. I got to preside over the coin flip to start too. Happened to have a coin handy. It was a Japanese yen, so it worked, as Jun Kasai called it. One of my favorite things about any wrestling has always been like a boardroom kind of promo or decisions being made. And this one being a coin flip with both teams and ring announcer Emil right there residing over it. I love those moments just as much as a match. It's the true believability in the art that we do. It takes every one of us to know our roles, to be able to portray a story to anybody watching. And that coin flip was a very fun moment. And Freedoms won the coin flip, and they should have chose to defer because by the end of it, Nick Gage ended up taking out June Kasai to get the victory for Team GCW. Wild match. Definitely worth checking out. Fight TV. The next day started it off. We had 2 shows on Sunday, and the first match was for Jersey Championship Wrestling. I believe that whole show was on YouTube. I had Manders, who's celebrating a birthday today. Much love to the big homie. He took on Alec Price in the opening contest of JCW. One hell of a match. By the end of it, Manders just had a little bit more in the tank and hit the lariat and got the victory. The next match I had was Beastman against CPA. 2 wild, different characters.
I watched that match. Yes, that was yes. I saw you in that one. Yes.
Oh, that's
wherever
great.
we were going.
Yeah, that is great. It's such a fun one. Wild characters. Discrepancy of probably a couple 100 pounds between the 2 of them. Let's just say by the end of it, it was a TKO pin. there was no getting up after that one. Beastman comes out victorious. They really brought it that day. But very fun show. And the next show that day was GCW Fight Night, Night 2. And the first match I had was Masha Slamovich against Jack Cartwheel. In the opening moments of the match, Jack Cartwheel does a cartwheel, gets the crowd behind him, gets Masha to do a cartwheel, has the crowd behind her, and before you know it, the crowd was turning to have the third man in the ring do a cartwheel. So they pointed to me, and I thought, no way. So maybe tried 2 in my life and failed and kind of messed up an ankle many years ago. So it's just something I don't do. So this time around, I thought, oh man, they put me on here, so got to do it. So went and failed terribly, terribly. And I got up and told them to get back to it, but the crowd wasn't letting me off the hook that easily. I guess we failed so terribly bad that
It sucks when you learn to listen to the crowd, doesn't it?
that they paused and made me go for another one. And on this one, you're like, all right, well, now we got to really give it everything we got. And said I didn't really do a cartwheel, but I stuck the landing on whatever I did. It was a something, and I stuck the landing.
That's
and
all that matters.
To the delight of the crowd and Prazak on commentary. And was able to get right back to the match. But it was just funny where less than 24 hours before, I was in the midst of the ring with the ring next to it and one giant cage over us in the midst of the wildest, bloodiest death match 10-person I've ever been a part of. And the next day, we're right there in the middle doing cartwheels and listening to the crowd. As a referee, there is no typecasting for the independents. We do everything that's asked of us. Students of the game, having to learn every style and be ready at any given moment for anything, whether that's listening to the crowd, but mostly being there for the wrestlers and supporting the story that they're looking to tell. There's no selfishness that comes of it or agendas that I am looking to achieve. It is solely telling the story that these guys want to tell and girls want to tell, wrestlers want to tell, and being able to flip the switch at a moment's notice is one of the parts that I love most about being a student of professional wrestling. Not holding anything too closely and being ready to switch and adjust on the fly. So that ability and the ability to snap right into a match after maybe the craziest thing or the silliest thing or the goofiest thing or the most embarrassing thing, being able to flip that switch in a second and be right back locked in like it's a world heavyweight title match.
Well, at some point the struggle has to happen.
Yeah. Yep. And being able to seamlessly transition between is something that I thoroughly enjoy and continue to learn and gain experience on, especially while working the independent circuit where we get to work with everybody. So yeah, it was one of those moments of reflection where it was very fun. The cartwheel thing itself, goofy, chalk it up for whatever, but the ability to transition from how intense the match was the night before and being on for it to a legit match between Cartwheel and Masha and being on for that one too. Yeah, very fun. Good match. Hard hitting the entire time. Lots of pile drivers. Masha came out victorious. Yeah, incredible. Next match I had was a 6-person tag match, where the night before, Charles Mason paid off a referee and he was on the take and screwed over Holiday and he took the money, took the bribe. So this match started out where Charles Mason tried to give me a $5 bill in the center of the ring. And again, after all these wild matches, now I'm being tested on my integrity inside the ring. So I took it, held it up, and ripped it up right in his face and threw it back at him. Yeah, I wasn't going to take any money, no payola. We're going to call this sucker right down the middle. And yeah, it was Blake Christian, Charles Mason, and Pero not paying me off against Effie, Ali, and Rina Yamashita. Wild match, very fun. It was a 2-on-2, but then midway through, Rina came in and saved the day, so it turned into a 3-on-3. And Rina, Effie, and Ali end up getting the win. Big power bomb at the end. Very fun match. The next match I had that night was a wild death match between Mance Warner and Takeda. Takeda, one of the best in the world at what he does. Intense. And Mance Warner, my goodness, if he's not one of the best storytellers around. I've gotten to work with him and know him over the past few years. So any scenario and situation I'm in with him is very comfortable. Like Tommy Young and Ric Flair back in the day. We're there, we know each other, there to keep you safe and call that match for you. Give you a little bit of trust inside that ring. And it ended with a flaming table and Takeda picking up the
As you're
victory.
wont to do.
as you like. And yeah, it was great. There was a couple of spots with a table and glass on top of it. It's like a double stack. And then it ended with a nice flaming table. That match was phenomenal as far as those styles of matches go. Yeah, well received and very fun to perform in. So 4 matches in Atlantic City, 6 matches in Atlantic City over the course of 2 days. All of them a little bit different. Only one legit, I guess 2 legit singles, which were very fun. And the other one more so of a character wise. But yeah, very, very fun matches. Enjoyed them all and learned a lot. And then the next day, we got into an airplane and flew all the way to Tokyo, Japan. So 3 shows in Atlantic City, and then a plane ride, and then Tokyo, Japan, where we landed and went immediately to the venue, Shinkiba First Ring, where we had the GCW versus Freedoms show. The match I had that night was Jimmy Lloyd against Maki Ito. Being able to work with Maki Ito in Japan is always a treat, an incredible experience, and very fun match all around. They brought out a little bit of weaponry towards the end, but it was so fun just to be back in Japan, to see all the fans and the connections that I've made over the past couple times. Everybody was happy to see each other, able to talk with a lot of fans before the show, exchange some gifts. It was very heartwarming, very fun to be back. Japan is a place I hold very near and dear to my heart, and it really hits on a whole nother level for professional wrestling, and brings a tear to the eye just thinking about it, and the enjoyment that all the fans and audience get out of seeing us over there is one of the greatest feelings I've ever experienced in professional wrestling as a student. So I'm able to learn so much from each encounter and take a lot out of it, from memories, motivation, inspiration, and able to use some of the Japanese that I've been working on and use it in regular conversation and get smiles of, hey,
you try it, brother, you try it.
you're trying. Like, yep, that extra homework. Yeah, so putting in a lot of work and being able to apply it right away. In pro wrestling, we get so much experience and learn so many new things. Being able to apply it instantly is what I love most, and never ending. And then the next day we had a show at Cork and Hall for Freedoms Pro Wrestling. This is the anniversary show for Freedoms. Last year in October, it was the first time I ever went to Cork and Hall for it, and I got to referee a match there. So this time was honored to be on their show again, and got to referee a team GCW versus another team Freedoms. Joey Janela, Gringo Loco, Blake Christian, Masha Slamovich against Team Freedoms with Sakuda, Violento Jack, Funaki, Magami, and Umi. A lot of fun wrestlers to work with, and by the end of it, Team GCW picks up the victory. That match was a firecracker from start to finish. It's like lighting a fuse and wait for it to go off, and boom, done. Incredible match. To be back at Cork and Hall was very cool, very humbling. Remember thinking last time I was there, I'm gonna continue to work hard with everything I do to make it back, and to be able to make it back and to ref a show there. So cool, so cool. And that was the day before GCW took over Cork and Hall the following day for the World on GCW. Now, this was a major show. It was the sixth show in 5 days on 2 different continents. And this was the big one, the granddaddy. GCW being able to take over Cork and Hall was incredible. One of the first times an independent U.S. promotion ran a solo show over there. So it was an honor to be a part of such a big time. And as far as promotions being on another level, GCW is on another level. And this show was putting a flag in the ground and saying that they're doing things. We're here, and we're making a splash in the wrestling world right now. And it was an incredible show, such an honor to be a part of. And I was bestowed the responsibility of reffing the main event of that show. It was one of the best honors I've ever had as a student of pro wrestling and a referee, and relied on all the training that I've put in to get to that point, inside the ring, outside the ring, and learning different languages as well. Was able to use. The main event was Rina Yamashita putting up her GCW Ultra Violent Championship versus Masha Slamovich in a wild 20-minute death match. The crowd was intense. The match was intense. Everything was wild. Kept everyone safe and made it through. And Rina Yamashita comes out victorious and retains the title. Yeah, it was such a great time. Incredible match. Very cool to be a part of. And Cork and Hall is a legendary arena that I'll always have close to my heart, and the connections made with the fans out there. Yeah, it was very, very special to be a part of. Lots of fun pictures.
Glad you got to experience that core memory right there.
Yeah, it really was. Thank you. Yeah, very, very fun. We checked out Tudakan over in Japan, the store/museum. Had a great time over there. I gifted them one of my GCW game used referee jerseys. They've been so nice to us in the past, and I came in with a gift for them right away, and they were very thankful. And we spent a long time there. Ash from production, MLJ, Ref Adam, and myself. We must have spent a better part of the whole afternoon there. And by the end of it, they ended up taking a promo for us. We got some cool shirts from them and got to get our pictures taken and put up on the wall at Tudacon, which was a great honor as well. Very humbling to be a part of the pro wrestling world these days, and understand that it transcends all culture when you follow your passion and find other people who have the same passion. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world because we're all connected through. And yeah, I just had such a blast. We checked out the Sky Tree as well, like the tallest space needle like thing, maybe
Okay.
even in the world. Like many 4,000 meters up or 2,000 meters up. That's just huge. The Tokyo Sky Tree, and you can see a whole 360 view of the entire city. It was incredible.
Well, I'm terrified of heights, so
Yeah, and especially the glass
yeah.
floor area.
Nope. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, it was so cool thinking about how big Godzilla would have actually been when you're overlooking the city. Um, it was so cool. I really enjoyed. Picked up a cool sweatshirt too. Nicest material of the sweatshirt I've ever seen or had in my life. And I'll always remember. uh, and then the next day, we got onto a plane and we flew all the way to Los Angeles, California for another Game Changer Wrestling show at the Ukrainian Cultural Center. We flew out, we enjoyed all of our Friday, and then we flew to LA and we had all of Friday once again. uh, MLJ and I checked out the independent show, Millennium Pro Wrestling in Chatsworth, and had a blast. Lots of cool people there, fun wrestling. Referee Scarlett helps those students and trains there, similar to us training at Thumper's Den. It's a very similar promotion, just in California. And met Kevin, the cameraman, who would later be doing our show the next day, and got to meet him. Good dude. And yeah, I had a fun time at Millennium Pro. Very fun wrestlers all around. The Divine Brothers are the brothers who run the school, and both very good. Good storytelling in the matches. And then the next day, we had our Game Changer Wrestling show. The first match I had was Bobby Flacco against Lil Cholo. Very fun. Lil Cholo inside the California environment was awesome.
Probably legendary.
Legendary, like a 20-year vet. It was my first really experience with him. So to feel that crowd, wow, you could feel how much they loved him and how much respect he had earned over his days. So very fun match to be a part of. The true definition of a 5-minute match being maximized.
Yeah.
Whether we're students or whatever level, if you can master and feel comfortable telling a story in the ring in 5 minutes, you can take that anywhere. And that match should be studied as to how to maximize a 5-minute match. They really made the most out of it. And yeah, I had a fun one. And then that night was the final match, the main event, the Lucha Libre Estelar de la Noche, Artemis and Rey Horus versus Gringo Loco and Ares. A 25-minute Lucha Libre madness. So much fun. They tore it up. Incredible. Just before the match began, I was match 9 and match 8. I made sure everything was set to go onto the ring. In doing that, I pinched my finger in a chair and cut a little chunk out of my finger, and it was bleeding profusely. So getting our guys ready for our match that was about to happen, well, I'm using some baby wipes and some athletic tape to kind of cauterize the finger and cut off a little circulation and tape the hell out of it. We got the job done. We got it accomplished. That white tape was pretty red by the end of it, but when you got 4 of the best luchadors in the world, no one's looking at the ref's finger.
Yeah. Perfect camouflage.
It was so much fun. Very fun all around. To be able to work that that tour from Atlantic City to Tokyo to California, and to be trusted with main event War Games night one, main event in the Corkin Hall for the major GCW Corkin show, and then to handle a main event at the end with the Luchadors in California, using all three languages again, fluidly inside the ring, really getting some good experience with it and allowing everybody to perform well, while adding a little level of comfort inside the ring. It's a good feeling and inspires me to continue to work hard and learn the language, as well as perform the referee duties to the best of my ability. So it was a very fun, hard work week, but the 7 shows in 8 days was about as incredible and accomplished feeling at the end of it, leaving you hungry for more and wanting to work hard to earn more. And by the end of it, the next day, had just a day off in Venice Beach, got to chill, on Venice Beach all day, kick it, hang out. There's a musician, 12th Planet, who rocks some wild electric music. Gringo Loco, Scarlett and I got to hang out with. Good dude, good people, great times. And that ended that big GCW tour, and set me up for the next week to come back to Milwaukee, ICW Milwaukee, on a Friday night at the bar. Nothing like coming home to a home show after traveling the world, just to see everybody who you've known from day one, veterans that I've known from day one, students who I still train with to this day, and all in between. Very, very fun to have a wrestling family that, is there for support, as well as telling stories and sharing good times with. The first match I had was the TAU and Sensei Storm. We were rocking. I saw it.
Talking about morality a week ago. Challenged again.
Yep, absolutely. And it was great against DCMC. Very fun match. As far as I could see, it was a clean finish. One of them happened to have some red all over their face by the end of it. I think he may have just spilled some Kool-Aid on his face.
I'm sure that's exactly what happened, Perch.
TSU comes out victorious.
Obviously.
Yeah, like we said, with the morality before, we ripped out the $5 in his face. We're not on the take. However, this time with TAU, it was clean match.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Didn't see anything wrong whatsoever.
You can do no wrong.
As far as Ref Perch is concerned.
Difference between calling a match in Atlantic City
and calling it in Milwaukee.
Oh, it was so much fun. Working with those guys it's the best. Really is. The people we train with and work with. It's what it's all about, getting experience and helping each other out. We're being lent a hand from someone above us as we're lending a hand to someone coming after us. And somewhere in the middle, we all meet up and to have everybody on the same level. It's a very cool feeling. And to see TAU come as far as they have in the couple of years that they've been rocking it is awesome. Inspires me truly to continue doing what we're doing. We've seen a lot of people come and go from camp, and
grow up so fast.
Yeah, as we all do. We're all so new to this, so it's cool to have other homies who are like-minded and are just as hungry for the experience as we are. And very fun. Inspires the hell out of me to keep on the right path that we've been on for 5 going on 6 years now. And then the next match I had was Ethan against Sierra. Talk about another good homie from day one. Sierra's matches were the first ones that I ever got to ref when I was coming up. She's been the older sister for me in the business, much like we're somewhat, older influences to people coming under us. Sierra is the older influence for us who came up under her. So again, the person who's lending a hand is you're lending a hand. It all comes full circle. And you get those moments at your hometown, and it's always special. Remember, there was one match that Ethan ended up beating El Cazador de Puma way back when. So, anytime Ethan's in a match, he's still springboarding off of that big victory he had many years ago.
Another morality play match for Ref Perch. We see.
It was
Little does the ICW crowd know.
very fun. Gotta love a home show. And Sierra ends up picking up the victory by the end of it. And then the next match I had was Simon and Memo against Big Bear also and Yeti. Another couple of good homies, Yeti and Memo, coming from the same school that we come from. Good brothers who are just as hungry out there getting experience and learning, and really have grown so much since we've seen them from day one. So another good influences who inspire me to keep doing it. And Simon and Big Bear also. Those guys were training at the Armani camp when day one when I first started showing up there on those Sundays, cold Sundays in the winter and hot Sundays in the summertime. So to see those guys 6 years later, almost, very cool, very cool. So again, just a special night all around at ICW Milwaukee, as it always is, but especially after traveling far, far away, coming back. So nice to have a good support crew and all the fans who are there. Couldn't be more grateful for all the fan support and seeing everybody and sharing stories, and the fans who have been supporting our wrestling since before we even joined wrestling. So literally have seen us from day one, and it's very cool to share stories and experiences with the entire audience. So I love greeting people at the door, whether it's in Atlantic City or Japan or California or Milwaukee, right there greeting fans at the door and telling them to enjoy and have a good time.
Yep. You can always find Perch at the door. All right. Let's move on to the topic for tonight. It is Halloween. It is also or it's Halloween season. We are also not too far from Survivor Series. So I thought a fun one would be if you were to captain a Survivor Series team of horror / sci-fi villains, who would be on that team? Let's go to Zach.
Yeah. Number one, I'm in it to win it, so I'm picking some monsters that are indestructible. So I'm going with Michael Myers because I've literally watched a man get stabbed, shot, fall from heights, his head chopped off, and he doesn't die. So I mean, I'd rather have that guy on my team than go against that guy.
Fair enough.
Well, another one would have to be I'm a big It fan, so I would go with Pennywise the Clown. I've always liked Stephen King's It, read all the books, so Pennywise will be on my team. He seems like he can manipulate your mind, which seems like that would be very beneficial.
Yep.
Who else would I go with?
Mind games matter. That's how we got the man, Becky Lynch.
Exactly. And they both have red hair.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
I think not.
Exactly. Let's see who else. I would have to I guess I'd pick the old school Jason and Freddy as well. Those two are always a good combination. You think of two old school guys, they would be like my tag team of the group. So I'd take Freddy and Jason as well.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. That's a solid classic pick. I don't think anybody would have any arguments against that.
I could picture them turning on one another and screwing their team over for the other team.
Yes, I feel like this might have happened somewhere before.
The other team's about to win because of the infighting, but then they end up just taking care of business and then all dispute.
Right. Perch, what is your horror / sci-fi Survivor Series team?
Oh man, great question. A lot of good characters, a lot of good people. Hands down, the muscle would be Frankenstein, straight up. Give me someone who's big, strong. He would be the giant of the team, the Andre or the big show of the team. You could base a team around him, put him in there to just destroy. Would also take Candyman as my other guy, straight up, with that hook for the hand, very strong. Dude's pretty big too, good size. He's got that mysterious ability too. He could pop up like, is it Samoa or Keith Lee? How he used to
Yeah,
pop up.
Keith Lee did it. It was Keith Lee.
He's got that ability to come up right behind you when you don't see it and pow, hit you with that uppercut. Definitely see some good things happening. Well, Frankenstein, Candyman. We would also take probably the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. He gives you that ability for high flying ability. Picture him going up way tall and delivering a missile drop kick like none other, or any other variation of maybe a double stomp or something along those lines. Good strength too. He can hoist some bodies over his shoulder. Yeah, would not mind having him, especially for that flying ability. And then the mat-based wrestler I'd have coming in there, and you don't know what he's going to do. Crazy is very useful inside pro wrestling. Take Hannibal Lecter as the next guy. Very scary. Picture him being a mat-based wrestler, and hooking some figure four leg locks, some sharpshooters, some good old-fashioned holds that he can't get out of. And when he's got you in a hold, you don't know what's about to happen. Very scary and very eerie. But yeah, it would be Frankenstein, Candyman, the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and Hannibal Lecter, and would definitely be coming out to the ring managed by the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt.
God damn it. Well, both of y'all took so many of my picks.
I picture the Crypt Keeper coming out there, creeping up the storm.
I wanted the Crypt Keeper. I wanted Michael Myers. And then when you said Michael Myers, I was like, you know what? That's fine, because I really wanted Candyman in here anyway.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? It's all right, because I first saw this happening, which is why I added sci-fi too. So we get our sci-fi monsters in here. But
I feel with these teams so far.
so I needed that for the save. All right. So first, my first pick will be my respect pick. It is going to be Chucky from Child's Play. When I was younger, my dad bought a Chucky doll and would hide behind the couch and terrify me with it. So I just feel, out of respect for the nightmares that I had as a kid, he should be on my team. This is where it got hard because you guys took all my picks. But I'm going to go with the Predator, specifically the one from Prey. Really enjoyed that movie. That movie was super good. So much fun. So much fun. And I'm super excited for the new one, or it's going to be like World War II era. I just hope they keep doing, they keep doing these like period piece Predator movies. I'm totally down for that. Keep it coming. Super big fan. Yeah, the rest of mine are going to be science picks. My third pick will have to be, because I was reminded of this like last week. It is going to be the shark from Deep Blue Sea. Not Jaws, the shark from Deep Blue Sea.
The smart one.
The smart one. Yes. Like, how many wrestling matches involve a shark cage? It should be no problem to get a shark cage for Hobie at Survivor Series. That was just such a good movie, and like hearing the story of, they tried it out with test audiences and the girl lived and they hated it, and so they switched it so the girl died, is just amazing behind the scenes stuff. That was when Sam Jackson gets caught, that got me hard the first time. Just a really fun movie. And my last pick, I had to go with something nerdy. I'm going to go with Oma Zio from Kamen Rider Zio. Not a lot of people think he is the villain, but he traps everybody in a reality of his own creation, and they have no idea that they're trapped. That's super nightmare fuel, so I'm going to go with Oma Zio. All right. Probably about time we start winding down. Why don't we talk about what we got coming up this weekend? Zach, what we got coming up this weekend depends on what I can do.
Yes, sir. Thursday, Milwaukee, the Vanguard. I believe Mondo Lucha is doing something with them. Not sure entirely. All depends on weather and everything, but we will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure yet what's going on, what we're doing, what all will be done, but we will be there for Mondo Lucha. And
Yes.
then Friday, we'll get to take on the greatest tag team in fourth wall wrestling history.
Yeah, like they keep adding monikers. Who the hell they think they are? Kids these days, I swear.
Man, they got the endorsement from one of the people on the Take It Home podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, we will be wrestling TAU, the Little Brothers, for those golden jackets once again. They have yet to beat us at yet to pin us or make us submit at fourth wall. So we'll see how this goes.
Hell yeah. And other than that, I don't think we have anything else that weekend, right?
Nope, I'll just be resting this leg. Maybe try the Scream marathon. We'll see how it goes. Watch some football. My Giants got a win this past weekend. Um, didn't your Bears get the win too?
Yeah, we got a new quarterback who's doing well. It's like sometimes you pay attention, sometimes you don't when you suck so bad.
Yeah. So yeah,
But we'll maybe see if we can get two in a row.
big wins for Country Air in the football world this weekend. Perch,
Hell yeah.
what you got coming up?
Yeah, this week is going to be so much fun. We got Vanguard Halloween on Thursday. Going to be a good time. Just like you guys, don't know what's in store, but down for whatever and cannot wait. Vanguard is such a fun place. Great restaurant, best sausages, jalapeno cheddar brat with cheese curds on top. That's the perch. I'm looking forward to eating one of those, and with some fries on the side. And yeah, looking forward to reffing it, calling it right down the middle, Daddy. Going to be the ref or the manager of champions. It doesn't matter what we're gonna do, but it's Halloween. We can dress up. We can do anything we want. But it's gonna be such a fun time. Vanguard, best restaurant in Milwaukee, and they're celebrating pro wrestling this Thursday night, and we'll be there for it. Um, Friday night got freelance wrestling back at Logan Square Auditorium. Had a,
Oh,
had a big vision in my mind that one day when we picked up that victory against Trevor Outlaw, it was going to restore the venue to the people, just like Mario beating Bowser and bringing the land to all the little toads throughout. Yeah, we defeated Bowser, and Logan Square Auditorium is back, just like the dream.
very nice, very nice.
Bounty Hunter Keith against August Matthews is going to be a fun match there.
Yep, they didn't seem to like each other very much in their last tag match.
Yeah, so excited to see how that one goes. And Effie taking on Storm Grayson should be a really fun time too. Really excited. Cannot wait for Logan Square Auditorium to be back in action on a Halloween night. Spooky. Last time there were some good spider webs and stuff. I think it was the East West Express against the Bang Bros last year, because I remember the spider webs and all the spooky decorations last time. So very fun to be back. So excited. And then the following day, Saturday, AAW Rumble comes to the Berwyn Eagles Club, another legendary venue in Chicago. Sierra is going to take on Masha Slamovich. Really excited for that matchup. I think Josh C is taking on Robert Ego Anthony, which will be another fun match as well. And they've got a big Rumble, Chi-Town Rumble. You never know who's going to show up. I'll tell you one thing, I will not be showing up in that Rumble. Will show up, but I'll tell you one person who will not. So I'm really excited to referee that night and have an absolute blast. It'll be a good time and a fun way to close out the weekend.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. And with that, it's about time we start taking it home. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
Nope, I got nothing.
Perch, final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, one more, celebrate pro wrestling. Support the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, good homies doing good things. Lots of good pro wrestling going on all over the world. GCW on Fight TV is on another level right now. IWTV for ICW Milwaukee is so much fun to watch as well. Brew City Wrestling coming up. Lots of fun action, lots of good local shows. And I'm placing lots and lots of money on TAU to retain those jackets this week.
Like, good to know where your loyalties lie, Perch. And I will say, yes, support independent wrestling. I don't know, I've been in a mood lately, or not even just independent, support independent artists. That's actually what the mood I'm in. Art is very important that we express ourselves in a way that is comfortable and lets us feel fulfilled. And for us, wrestling does that for some reason. Be sure to follow us on all the social medias, tell promotions to book us because we want to wrestle and ref in front of you. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us your horror Survivor Series team down in the comments below. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.